It's a beautiful day to you, our lovely and smart real estate investors, whether you're in Nigeria or you're in diaspora. I'm super delighted to welcome you to another educative and insightful episode of Property Matters here on YouTube. In case you're coming across a video like this for the first time, I am Adejare and I'm your host here on Property Matters. Property Matters is a real estate YouTube talk show where we discuss important issues affecting the Lagos State real estate market. Over time, we've done an extensive and, of course, an educative topics on different aspects of real estate, from land documentation, land verification. We've talked about title verification. We've talked about the different types of land typologies in Ekpe. We've also examined various, infrastructures and projects that Lagos State government and, of course, the federal government are doing presently in Lagos. We've talked about the Ibeju Lekki real estate market. We've talked about the short-let market. We've talked about off-plan. We've talked about the risk. We've talked about the criteria of a good real estate investor. We even went further to talk about how you can identify a fraudulent real estate transaction. And we've also talked about how you can identify a fraudulent and, of course, a manipulative real estate developer. Property Matter is a YouTube talk show where we expose and explain to you the way the real estate market works. So what you can do for us basically is that you can subscribe to this channel, turn on the notification bell, advise and of course your friends and family to also do so. I'll be back immediately after this short break. Don't go nowhere. Stay tuned. Beautiful investor, I'm super delighted to welcome you to. Of course, I know you could not recognize this begin. Even I myself, I thought I had misread. This is still your beautiful estates here in the beautiful city of Dangote. And as you can see, I said they were working on the table tennis, the long tennis court. As you can see, you can come here for your recreational activity. See, this place is taking shape. A lot of people are eating maximum return on their investment. Look at how beautiful this is, and this obviously won't be the last facilities that will come in here. As you can see, of course, we've started construction of our drainages and other facilities are coming here. See, this is the only property in Dangote that gives you the opportunity to spread payments for 1 year without interest. Now, the juicy part now is that when you do a 50% payment now on this property, you get a whooping 10% discount. 10% discount. This promo is on from now till the 1st of June. So you have to take advantage of this opportunity. Look at our beautiful football pitch. Whoa! I'm sure if Cristiano Ronaldo had knew that something like this was coming to Dangote, he wouldn't have signed for NSL. He would have signed for peak luxury football pitch. So this is the facilities. This is one of the best facilities you will get here. No estate in Dangote has this beautiful, facilities. And there is still more. We are still going to have CCTV camera. So this is when you have to take advantage. This is when you have to invest. For more information about this property, give me a call. Have a nice day. All right, you're welcome back. I'm super delighted to be here today. Thank you for everybody who have subscribed to this channel. A bigger thank you to those who still subscribe. Thank you for sparing your data, spending your time. Of course, in Nigeria we use data. For those who are using unlimited internet, thank you for also viewing. Of course, we don't take your cooperation for granted. And we also want to say bigger thank you to every investors who have decided to do their real estate investment through us. Thank you. It is because of you that we are constantly ensuring that you get the best. When we talk about the best, if we should tell you, the number for the past 2 weeks, I have not slept. We've been on the move, doing a lot of verification, doing a lot of check, verifying, talking to people, trying to help our client get allocation, going for different allocations. We've been on the road, and of course the reason why we're doing this basically is because we want you to get the best and nothing but the best. So for us, we'll go out for you, our lovely and smart real estate investors, whether you are in Nigeria, whether you are not even in Nigeria, with us, you can be rest assured that you have the best, reliable hands to handle your property activities, your property investment activities here in Lagos. So yesterday, we witnessed an historic event, in the history of Lagos, Nigeria. Yesterday, we witnessed the very first, biggest train refinery in the world that was inaugurated yesterday by top dignitaries, business moguls, political office holders, as well as the commander-in-chief himself, which is the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, General Muhammadu Buhari. And of course, that was, it's something that is very, very commendable. So our first appreciation goes to the entire media and the entire team of the Dangote group for doing and hosting such an historic event yesterday. It was the talk of the town. It went around social media. And of course, these are some of the things. I know most of you would have seen the videos online, or you might have seen it on the status of your realtors. And we are here to discuss the advantages. And of course, we're also going to talk about the risk factor of investing within this region. We're going to be giving an extensive explanation, overview, what you should expect. And of course, we're going to be giving an objective analysis of the opportunities as well as the risk. So we are going to go a little bit further than what most people have done yesterday. What majority of our realtors did yesterday was just to, explain, the refinery, the inauguration, which is good, which is fantastic. At least they have done a beautiful job keeping you people informed. But that we will go beyond that information and, of course, explain the dynamics of investment as well as some important information that you obviously don't want to ignore. So today we're going to be talking about the Dangote Refinery, the advantages. Now, this is going to be in 2 series, okay, because I obviously cannot exhaust everything today. And of course, I'm trying not to bore you guys with lengthy videos, so I'm just going to make it quick and, of course, hit the major points as quick as possible. Now, the Dangote Refinery inauguration, the economic advantages. Now, I've explained several times that when governments are heavily involved in projects, we saw the top dignitaries that came to grace the refinery yesterday. We saw how the event, became the top of the town. Apart from that, we also saw that presently there is a commission, because there's a construction of, the road down from Eleko to the Abramadisanya axis. And of course, you understand very well that government is trying everything to ensure that there is nothing like traffic, like some of the scenario we had in Apapa and other places in Lagos. And they're trying to avoid that. They're trying to make sure that such an event does not repeat itself at the refinery. That's number one. Now, the refinery is going to revolutionize the Ibeju Lekki real estate market. It's going to be one of the talk of the town. Now, but one thing many investors need to understand is that for that refinery axis, now for some of you may be wondering, now the refinery axis starts immediately after the free trade zone, a few minutes away from the free trade zone. Now from that refinery axis down to some larger part of Oshoroko, and of course it extends a little bit into places of Shirinwon and other places of Ibeju Lekki. Now I want investors to understand that that region is going to be controlled by the Lagos state government and also by private individuals, more importantly the partners and people that have shares in this refinery. Now, a lot of real estate investors need to understand that in a place, okay, where there's going to be regulations, where government will be in charge of the activities. If you have driven past that Oshoroko, a few minutes away from the refinery, down to the other places of, I can't remember the name now, but I realize that, of course, towards that La Campagne Tropicana axis, you would have seen that government have restricted some portion of land where they also want to start their own residential estates. Okay, this is to explain to real estate investors that government's presence within that axis will be noticeable. Now, it has a lot of advantages. Now, I'm going to discuss the advantages. Number one is that activities in that place is going to be revolutionized. That's the advantage. Number two is that the people on this axis are going to enjoy major infrastructures, which is electricity. They're going to enjoy good water. They're going to enjoy an improved, lifestyle because of these activities. A lot of, businesses, banks, industries, a lot of warehouses and other business people all the way from different parts of Lagos, some from the mainland, some from the island, will come to Ibeju Lekki to tap and of course enjoy the maximum advantage of situating their businesses there. Now that is the advantage. The road infrastructure over there will be top notch. of course, we are going to see, when we were even doing some due diligence last year, we found out that the Lagos state government has reserved a large acres of land for an ultra modern market center in Ibeju Lekki. This is within that, Lacampine Tropicana axis. Now, opposite Lacampine Tropicana axis, you will notice that we have a lot, there's an ocean there. And that's why some companies have gone there to sell beachfront properties and some other things like that. But I want real estate investors to know that you see that ocean side, they are majorly government land, and a lot of transformation will be coming into that places. Okay, like most of the investors that bought or that own shares in at Refinery, majority of them have even gone further to allow us to go and buy some properties that are very close directly from government, so that they can have their own resorts, they can have their own vacation, they can have their own lounge and the likes. So these are some of the transformations that will be coming to the Ibeju Lekki axis. So as an investor, you need to understand what government want to do first. You need to be well abreast with the locations and the projects that are coming within that axis. Don't just get cajoled by Dangote is building refinery, come and buy land. You need to understand that where am I supposed to situate my investment so that I don't encroach on government policies, or I don't encroach on government plans or on government lands. Okay, so these are some of the things you need to know. And in most cases, a whole lot of real estate investors do not understand, and the reason based on this is because majority of them are in diaspora. So when you're doing a real estate investment within that axis, you need to have a geographical understanding of how that place will operate. You need to have an extensive knowledge of where these major things will be situated. What are we going to have? Where are the places that government have situated for an ultra modern market? Where are those places that government has given to people to build lounge, to build resorts, to build recreational centers? Where are those places that government have separated for schools? Of course, in Ibeju Lekki, we are going to have schools. We are going to have, in fact, we've seen a place where government want to build a technical college. Okay, we've seen a place where government want to build universities. Although this project will not come in speeded like that, it's going to come in phases, but it's already in plan. So you need to have an understanding before you invest. So these are the advantages. So Ibeju Lekki is going to open up very, very fast, and real estate investors who own property there are going to reap many return and benefits. These are the advantages. So already at Ibeju Lekki, we already have a Chinese community. In fact, most of the people that took advantage of Ibeju Lekki earlier, even before this inauguration, or even before the the Dangote Refinery project got to its present state, I was very, very shocked that the Chinese, the Chinese and the Lebanese, the Japanese, even the Americans have larger investment in Ibeju Lekki than Nigerians. Of course, you see, that's why some of the reason why I usually say that it is very important that we take cognizance of what God has blessed us with, okay, before other expatriates and foreigners come and reap massive investments opportunities, while we, the original owner of that place, are still procrastinating. So we have a Chinese town. We have there's this Chinese company called permit me if you're Chinese watching this video. We have a Chinese factory, steel factory at Ibeju Lekki. Even at at the entrance of that MNSC, there's also another Japanese firm. We have a lot of things. Now, opposite the refinery, or adjacent the refinery, let me use this word. Adjacent the refinery is where we have the deep sea port, which is also another multi-billion naira project. So this is the present state of Ibeju. Okay, so these are the opportunities. Now imagine what the deep sea port will bring to the Lagos state economy. Imagine what is going to. In fact, I was even told that they've started shipments, and they've started cargoing things, and of course exporting things to the deep sea port, and of course it's still operational till date. Now these are the advantages. These are the advantages. Now what are the disadvantages? Now, because of the fact that governments have larger interest in Ibeju Lekki, Lagos state governments are going to be very, very, very strict when it comes to real estate in Ibeju Lekki. So far we've talked about what happened at Ibeju, the demolition at Ibeju. We saw the one that happened at Ajao Estate. There was no even refinery there. We saw the one that happened at Okeogun community. And of course, if you have not seen the video, of course, I talked about that. Now, the demolitions we have seen are child's play compared to the ones that will come to Ibeju Lekki. Now, in Ibeju Lekki now, a whole lot of real estate investors have ignorantly bought properties that are committed to government activities and government projects. I'm not going to mention name. I'm not going to say this place is committed, this place. No, it's none of my business to do that. But I want you to know basically that I personally too ignorantly bought in without knowing. You know, knowledge is very, very important. Now, why should you work with a professional in buying real estate in Ibeju Lekki? Now, what you will see mostly is adverts telling you to come and buy land. What you will see are documentary encouraging you to come and buy land. But what we are doing for the past 2 weeks, I've been driving and touring these axes. And I don't want you, our wonderful investor, to fall into these investment traps and schemes. That is why I'm coming online to explain the way these things are. A whole lot of people who have encroached on government land will want to sell their properties so that they will not lose totally. That's number one. Number two, people who don't have, the financial capacity to perfect their properties will also want to sell land. So the pressure to sell because of this recently inaugurated Dangote Refinery and other projects will be high. What must you do as a real estate investor for you not to fall into erroneous buying of properties that you are not supposed to buy? Presently, we are handling a situation of a real estate company in Lagos, Nigeria, that sold the property to a client, and as I'm talking to you right now, they don't even have a survey to show the boundaries of the land. A lot of people are bought, and the reason why we're coming online is that a lot of people will still erroneously buy what they are supposed to avoid. As a real estate investor, ask questions. Number one, ask questions. Number two, involve a professional. You are abroad. Majority of you are abroad, and for those who are in Nigeria, a lot of people may not have time, okay, to come for inspections every day. Most people usually separate their weekends to do. Weekend is not always enough for you to know if a property is committed or not. Work with a professional. Now, I wouldn't want a situation whereby after you have bought, you are now telling us this is what has happened. In such scenarios, there is little or nothing we can do. You have paid. We cannot say go and collect your money back. We cannot say stop buying. The deed has been done. What we can do is to ensure that you don't make further mistakes. And that's why I was saying work with a professional. There are places. Now, the reason why I'm saying you should work with a professional is that before the refinery was launched, we got an information from a reliable source in Alausa that Dangote will still need more lands. Why? The refinery will employ over 200,000 skilled and unskilled workers. In Ibeju Lekki right now, we don't have state-of-the-art houses, accommodation. The available ones are very, very expensive. So what Dangote wants to do basically is to have more lands so that he can build staff quarters. Now, when taking lands, he's going to go outside that refinery and go to the places that are either closer to him or a little bit distance away from him. So in most cases, now, in Oshoroko presently right now, there are some places that governments have suspended the title that they personally gave the original owner of that property. So we learned from a reliable source that some portion of Choroko has already been sold to Dangote. It's from an unconfirmed source that it has been sold. And with some of the events and crises that happened there recently, I can categorically tell you that it's seeming so. The information some portion of the information is appearing to be truth right now, because some places government have placed some embargoes on some places on Ibeju Lekki, on that that Oshoroko site. In fact, some real estate companies that sold property to people have started refunding people, because you see, if government says they want a place they sold to you, there's nothing you can do. It may not, the only information we have is just that access that some CFO have been suspended. That's the only information we have right now. There may be other places. Now, as a real estate investor, there are some people you can commit to help you do a thorough due diligence. For people to do a thorough landscaping, location analysis, we will go further to do what we call environmental due diligence, to know if that place has been sold, to know if there are crises in that place, to know if they have sold that place maybe to 3 or 3 people, to know if peradventure government have even suspended the title that is given. As an investor, your business schedule will not give you the opportunity to. That's why I'm saying that if you're buying properties in Ibeju Lekki, work with a professional. That's point number 2. Work with a professional. I'm not saying you should work. If you work with us, though, I'm also going to say this now. In the process of trying to help a lot of real estate investors, I have been shown shaggy. There are a lot of people that we have helped them to handle their process of documentation. We have helped them to handle their process of due diligence. Till today, they have not paid us. This thing is not free. I will not drive bond fuel from my office at our down to Ibeju Lekki to check, to do a lot of things. We have been treated badly, and that's why I'm saying that the only people we respond to are people that want to buy property through us. If you're not buying through us, if you call us, we won't answer. And this is based on the fact that we have been treated badly by people that we're trying to help, which is not supposed, it's not encouraging. It is not. It is not. I myself have personally, we drove from our office, Awoyaya, down to Isheri to go do due diligence. Till today, the woman has not even called to say thank you. So these are some of the things that are making us to be very, very careful, because in the process of trying to help, some people will want to play smart and turn your good deed and make it look as if you don't know what you're doing. So the condition basically is, if you're not buying through us, you don't contact us. That's just the truth. Because we're spending time, we're spending money. I can tell a number of due diligence I've personally paid for some real estate, for some prospects, for some people who are very, very scared, and at the end have not been paid back. I've not been refunded, and these people are not even saying anything. So these are some of the things that we are not going to be taking additional responsibility if you are not doing that transaction through us. It's worthless. So I have to say this online so that you can know. Number 3, one of the things you need to do is to check title. Now, something happened recently, and I'm going to explain this, then I'll round off this session. I've been working in this industry for more than 7 years. 7 good years I've been a realtor helping people to invest. But something happened recently, and I'm going to call the attention of our real estate investors, whether you're abroad or you're in Nigeria. Check the title the company is giving you. I'll say it again. Check the title that the company is giving you. A CFO in process may be presented to you as a CFO title. A governor's consent in process may be presented as governor's consent title to you. A gazette that has not been granted may be presented to you as gazette. This is why you need, because you see, Ibeju Lekki is a place where it is hottest location right now for real estate investments. So the fact still remains that a whole lot of people will want to sell, and if you are not careful, they will scam you. I'm saying this. I'm online. If you are not careful, you will larimo. They will scam you, and your money will be gone. I have cases, see, for weeks. I'm not arrested. If you drive from one place to another, meeting this person, meeting this person, meeting this person. In fact, at a point, I was saying, I'm tired. If you're not careful, they will scam you. A whole lot of people have been scammed. Now, the advantage is that the resource, the refinery, this thing will bring a lot of good investments to people, a lot of return, a lot of people enjoy wealth forever. But if you don't buy through the right person, and you follow those people that after they just sell and you won't see them again, you're on your own. If you call me, I won't answer you. So the thing is, if you are not careful, the real estate investor, you'll be scammed. And this is why we say work with person that will emphasize on due deal. I know I'm saying this. The cases we have on hand right now, it may take us the next month. We have not finished it because they are enormous. And I have clients that have bought from us that we have to give them our priority. So if your own is coming after you are going to buy, well, it is a case of whether it's when we have time. But to an extent, we've been able to. Now, the good thing is, between January this year till this present moment I'm making this video, I've helped over 10 real estate investors. Yes, in getting back their refund, doing a lot of things. I've personally done that. And they have in turn appreciate us buying from us, by investing through us. And that's the way of saying thank you. So if you have gone to buy from somewhere, because you see, the desperation to sell is high. And if you don't investigate very well, they will scam you. And if they scam you, please don't come and meet. There's nothing I can do. You know, I'm not the real estate company. I can't help you fight or something. So these are some of the things we need to know. So this way I'm going to draw the curtain of today's episode. I said I didn't want it to be to be long, but you see, because of what we have to say, the secret you guys need to know, it always goes on. So thank you very much for following us. It's an honor and a privilege to be on your screen today. Thank you, real estate investors, those who are subscribing, those who are investing through us. Thank you. Of course, we help you. One thing you know, basically, is you're buying through us. I won't ask you to pay. The places we have introduced our investors, we have their document. Our lawyers have said, our surveyors have worked on it, so we know. And when it comes to even personality title, we have capable agents, and that's why we say work with a professional. So this is where I'm going to draw the curtain of today's episode of Property Matters. We want to do any form of real estate in Lagos, Nigeria. We're the best person. So see you in my next video, and God bless you.